Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. Hey, I thought I'd share a little balance striking drill that I like to do that I've really been enjoying and getting a lot of value out of. And I just think it's a great drill for balance. And as it applies to fighting and really serious striking, you'll have to decide that for yourself, see if it's useful to you. If you're a martial artist who trains for combat, you might find this useful. If you're like me and you train for daily life and health and balance and everyday agility, then I'm sure you'll find it beneficial if you can do it and do it correctly. What I'm going to do to start with is I'm just going to shift my weight from one leg to another. I generally cover a little bit of ground when I do this, but I'm not sure how much of I can stay in the camera field and do that because I can't watch the field and do it at the same time. So I'm going to stay in a relatively small area. So what I'm doing here is I'm just shifting my weight from side to side, and I'm letting my other foot, my empty foot, just kind of trail along and follow wherever I am. So if my right foot steps here, I'm not going to bring my left foot behind me. If I bring my right foot here, I'm going to bring the front foot up to, about a 60-degree angle, kind of a typical Tai Chi back stance. But wherever I step, that foot's going to come along and find that neutral spot there with some space in here and some spring in that back leg. So one thing I really don't want to do is get there and twist. This is never good. Always have that knee over the toe. So set. Even if I don't have any weight on my foot, I still want that knee over the toe. This isn't any good. I want that knee over the toe. So for starters, I'm just shifting my weight and I'm just dragging that foot along like that. So if you have balance issues, or maybe you're a little older, or if this for some reason is a challenge, then just stay with this for a while. Because you don't want to be wobbly and shaky. You want to arrive relatively comfortable, right? So I'm just shifting my weight and letting the other foot adjust wherever I go. If I step way over here, that other foot comes along for the ride. It's always following. It's a step and then a drag. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to step and drag, but I'm going to lift my knee when I get there. So I'm going to step and lift my knee. Step and lift my knee. So every time I arrive somewhere, I want to lift my knee. So I'm lifting it off the ground. Now, the next step is to linger longer and to sit into that leg. So the knee comes up. I'll do this in slow motion. As it approaches my hip height, I'm going to sit, meaning sink and tuck my hips a little bit. So I step, sit, and linger a little bit longer. So each step now has a little beat of rest there. Now if I step to my leg and lift that knee to linger and I don't have my balance, I just abandon it and go to the other leg. What I don't do is struggle and try to get it. Once you lost your balance like that, you're not going to get that particular balance back. And struggling and teaching yourself to struggle, giving your nervous system the idea that struggling for balance is a good thing, I don't like to do that. So what I like to do is step, and if I don't have it, I just go to the other leg, maybe even relax and stabilize it, slow it down, and lift and sit. So now it's step, shift, sit, and linger. Step, shift, sit, and linger. Another thing you can do once you get there, is, if you have your balance, is do a little bit of a bounce. So now you've got step, shift, lift, sit, linger, and bounce a little bit. The idea is you want a really strong, springy leg underneath you, unforced balance. I'm not holding on, just really relaxed and be able to lift that leg and sit. So wherever you arrive, lift and sit. Now the next step is when you get there, lift the knee and sit. You straighten the standing leg as well as this leg and kick. And then linger again. And then land. Right? So it's lift, sit, linger, kick. See, that time I lost my balance a little bit. You see that? I kind of tipped, so I stopped it. What I want to do is I want to lift, sit, kick, linger. I want to linger at the end. I want an unforced balance when I start the exercise. After I kick, I want to return to that. Right? So I've got a weak right ankle, sprained it really badly when I was a kid, and it's never really recovered. It doesn't sit exactly right, so I just have to be a little careful when I get over there. If I don't have it, I don't struggle. Kick. Back, linger, kick, linger, step, lift, linger. Didn't quite have it. There, I've got it. Kick, and then linger. Now the kick can be any kick in your arsenal, any kick that you have. It can be a toe kick. It can be what we call a separation of leg kick. It can be a side kick. It can be a back kick. It can be a knee. It can be whatever kick you work on, including you can do like a sweep the lotus kick. You know, you can land here like this and do that kind of kick, or you can do a roundhouse or a tornado or whatever feels good to you. But the point is to do it smoothly and in control with balance. Remember, this is a balance exercise, not a power exercise. So the idea is not that you get there and try to kick as hard as you can. That's not the point of it. You're running through the nervous system, the connections, the timing, the sequencing of that kick, not the power. It's not a great idea to issue full power into air anyway. If you want to work on power, you need to have a bag or an opponent or something to absorb some of that force. So let's review. Step and shift and drag. Step, shift, drag. Step, shift, drag, and lift. Step, shift, drag, and lift. Step, shift, drag, lift, and sit. Step, shift, drag, lift, sit. Then add the bounce, so you step, you shift, you sit, and you bounce. Then step, shift, lift, sit, kick. And then linger, and then step, lift, sit, linger, kick, linger, and then step somewhere else. The next step you can do is you can do more than one kick. So you can start with just doing two, like say 1, 2, linger, then on the other leg, step, linger, kick, kick, and then back. You always want to have your balance at the end. Aim for that anyway. Aim for getting there, doing a couple kicks, and then have your balance. So that second kick shouldn't send you off somewhere. Personally, I like 3. That's my favorite. I get up to 3 and that's where I like to stay. So although I've done to see how many I can do, you can do that too. You can just get there and see how many kicks can you do and keep your balance. Now I like to kick out of the standing leg. So each kick to me has a rise and a fall to it. Boom. I keep coming out of this leg. I'm not just doing this isolating just the kicking leg. So one thing I like to do is do my 3 kicks and give each one a number. So let's say I go to the side, right side, my right, your left. I do 1 heel kick, 2 heel kick, and maybe 3 is a side kick. So I've got heel, heel, side. Then I go to the other side and I repeat it. Heel, heel, side. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. Oops, there. Make sure I've got it before I move on. So then I make up combinations of numbers, like 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So I get over here and I go 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. And I go to the other side and I go 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Or whatever that combination was. If I do, let's say I did a toe kick, a separation of leg, and a side, and I do that on the other side. Toe, separation, side, and then back. And then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. So I go 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. So just a little challenge to get you, to mix it up a little bit. You can have a friend call out different combinations of numbers, or if you're doing it in a group, people can take turns just calling out different numbers that get you to think on your toes a little bit. So, no pun intended. So, that's the kicking part of this. The main thing is that you arrive with your weight, you lift and you sit into a springy leg, and you kick out of that leg with each kick that you do. And you get used to posting strong on that leg and coming up out of the ground, up out of the ground, up out of the ground. There. Then you can forget about kicks and start looking at upper body strikes. So you step You do the same sit and linger, but you strike off from that position. You can start with just one strike. You can step and do right hand, right weighted foot, or you can do right hand, left weighted foot, or you can do left hand, right weighted foot, or left hand, left weighted foot. And it can be any strike that you know of. It can be an uppercut here, or it can be a straight, or it can be a jab, or it can be a back fist, a hammer fist, or it can be a back fist. Any strike that you know how to do. And again, it's not about power. It's not about hurling your power into air and into your joints. It's just not good for them. On the other hand, it's not doing this. It's not just flinging your arms. What I like to do is arrive there and do the strike, number one, from my leg. So my leg is powering this, and I'm working my nervous system connection. I'm working the connection through there. The only thing that's missing from this being a real punch is just energy, more intent, like more momentum, more force. I'm not adding that. I'm just adding enough that it feels, solid. It's not empty. I've got a little bit of oomph to it. So now I'm going to step and linger, throw a strike, make sure I have my balance, and go to the other leg. Lift and linger, strike. So I'm, there. So I'm on one leg, striking, relax, strike, and there, or there. Making sure that I finish with my balance. I might forget sometimes and just go there and then go somewhere else, and I go, oh wait a minute, linger, make sure you have it, then go to the other leg. There. And I try to make sure I'm coming up out of my leg, that I'm not just doing this. I try. Sometimes it's hard to remember. I'm doing all this stuff at once. So I come down, and then I use my leg to do the strike. So as you may guess, what comes next is adding more strikes. So you can come here and go 1, 2, 3. Step, linger, 1, 2, 3. And you want to feel like, you're connected here. Like, these feel real. They don't feel like you're just flopping your arms around. You have some connection. Connection to your leg, right? Connection to that leg. And again, if you start to lose your balance, forget it. Reset. 1, 2, 3. It can be 3 in a row. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like little short ones like that. Or it can be, or no more force than that. That's about as forceful as I ever do it. But I want to feel like, it's a strong connection. It's not just flopping my arms around. And then you can combine them, which gets a little trickier. So now what I might do is I might say 3 punches, 2 kicks. So I go to my left leg and I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, linger. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, linger. Or I might just do it randomly. Punch, kick, step. Punch, punch, kick, kick. Oh, didn't have my balance. I was going to do more, but I didn't have it. As soon as I lose it, I go to the other leg. 1, 2, 3, kick. Oh, didn't have it there either. 1, 2, 3, kick. That's better. 1, 2, 3. Make sure I stabilize that. Kick, kick, kick. So you get used to being on one leg and figuring out how can that leg power these various kicks, various strikes. How can that one leg do that? So it's balance related to striking. Carpeting doesn't make it easier. Carpeting makes it harder, but that's good though, good challenge. So every one of these, the job description for your standing leg changes. Every one of these kicks, every single move you make, you have to make adjustments in that leg. Then, when you come back to having both feet on the ground, man, you feel like a wild man because you've been on this one leg. I mean, I do this sometimes for 10 or 15 minutes straight, just building up and getting more and more strikes in and more balance work. It warms me up, warms up my body, and it's really great for balance. So again, it's balance training related to the striking, but not so much for power. It's for building connections and getting used to that idea of rooting in your feet, powering it from your legs, directing it with your waist, expressing it out through your upper limbs, and keeping a sense of connection to the ground while you do these various movements. Then when you go to do other things, man, if you've handicapped yourself and done all that stuff on one leg, you can, you really feel really great when you go to 2 legs. It feels like a real luxury. So anyway, just a training game. Take it easy. Please don't injure yourself. Do it at your own risk. So, take it easy. You can start really, really simple and just build yourself up to being able to stand and strike and do all kinds of neat stuff on one leg, which is, good for balance and good for life. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do nature videos, music videos, Tai Chi videos, and you can always visit GeneBurnett.com. Thanks for watching.